So we go to the third part of our project, the non-linear programming, like Francois introduced. So a small outline, so I will start with an overview, how we get started, what we are going to do, and finally, what is expected from you. So we are now on the third part, which is still an ample using part, which will be based on a heat string recovery from a ventilation unit and from some data centers. Okay? So you are expected to present by week 9 your work, so in 2 weeks' time. It will be included, the results of this part will be included in the big MILP scenario evaluation and will be included in your final report. So, you already have it accessible, the NLP description that you can find in Moodle. It will contain not only the description, but as well 6 files. So 3 of them are reporting to the first task, and 3 of them will report to the second and third task. You will follow the same structure that you did for the MILP. So you have a mod file, a dat file, and a run file. And some instructions are already in place, okay, to guide you. So, as I guess you already seen it, there is this trade-off between investment cost and operating cost. So we should decide on the optimal delta T minimum that will allow us to have the best or a good combination of costs, okay? So, but I guess that you already seen this with Francois in detail. So for task 1, what we have, what we'll consider is that we will reuse the heat from the data center. So we have a data center here at the PFL that has a 60 degrees heat available, and we would like to include this heat, okay? Without any integration, this heat is being dispersed in this heat exchanger that is already in place, okay? What we want to do is to size this heat exchanger accordingly in order to recover some of this heat and consequently saving some money or some operating costs of the electricity that we are spending on the heat pump system, okay? So you should calculate the current energy bill. So we have this reference model, and we are considering the implementation. So can we use, or is it worth using the heat from the data centers? And if yes, what is the size, what is the investment cost, what is the payback time, and what is the new energy bill? The second task is that we should use the ventilation from a PFL. So we have some heat coming out of a PFL as a form of air, warm air, heated air, doesn't matter. And we have some air coming out from the outside at the temperature of T external. We would like to check if this implementation is viable. So we would like to warm this T external to this T external mu. Okay, so the notation I use here is the one that you will find in your ample files. Okay, and this will reduce somehow the heat demand of a PFL. So we will save a bit. Okay, or we should, but we have to pay the price. So we have to buy the heat exchanger. So again, we should decide on the size. Is it worth it? It is not. So maybe you could. So this is an air heat exchanger. So I guess that you know that a priori there are some concerns about it, okay? But you will discuss it. And the task 3 is not only to integrate this here, it's also to integrate it with an heat pump structure, okay? So in case we integrate, what is the size? Is it worth it? It is not. So you should always compute not only the delta minimum, but also the costs, so the economic evaluation of our system. Because as you know, money is what drives typically decisions. Okay? So As a summary, you should calculate the current energy bill, estimate the optimal delta T min, calculate the new energy bill payback times, discuss the different results and possible improvements, and the comparison with the base case scenario. Okay? So after you have your code written, make small exchanges is very easy. So you will assume a price for electricity. Okay? But now we can consider, what if I use for electricity double the price? Or what if it's half the price? Is it still worth it to install the heat exchanger? So you should gain the sensibility to these kind of parameters, which is very important, okay? Because you will use a price of electricity that is an average price, okay? So, but maybe that average will change, or, I mean, we can do some nice considerations. So in the end, what you will have from this NLP scenario evaluation is that you will create some opportunities that will be implemented in your main MILP model, okay? So the system, the MILP big model, will be able to select these options, okay? So there will be a binary variable, so 0 or 1, but the mood is fixed. So you will tell that for the system to use it, it should use in that amount, okay? So you won't optimize the NLP part inside the MILP part, otherwise you get lost forever. Okay, so you say that the opportunity is this, and the system will choose to implement it or not. Okay. So you are going to learn lots of things. Okay, how to formulate an NLP optimization program for energy recovery, how parameters are able to influence the solver choice, and about different energy recovery options and their viability. You should present the optimal delta T minimum for the configuration, the energy bill, the investment cost, operating and payback, and of course your evaluation and recommendation. Because at the end of the day, you will decide, okay? Based on economic parameters, based on environmental indicators, but you will decide, okay? Everything that is written here is available in the project description, so read it carefully. And if you have any questions, you may ask.
I would like just to add some recommendations. This is based on what I have learned from last year, or for the same problem. You are going to receive pre-defined problems, okay? We give you mod files, we give you dat files, okay? And we do not ask you to push the button and solve the problem, okay? What we are asking you is to analyze what is written in the files, knowing that when you push the button, you expect to have a result which is not a numerical result, but is a decision that you are going to make for the whole system. So you have to be sure that the set of equations makes sense with what you have in mind as being the energy saving option. And I have seen in the presentation that some of you could perhaps have better ideas than the one that are proposed there. If you have better ideas, just take the example that we give to you and modify the models in such a way that they represent what you want to calculate. Okay? So it's not just a question of pushing a button. Last year, we gave as an example, so I know that we have modified this year, but I can tell you that last year we gave it as an example a wrong model. And no one in the whole...
On purpose. On purpose.
Yeah, it was on purpose. But no one did realize it. And they were all presenting bad results, which were just nonsense from the engineering point of view. But they have just applied what was written in the model and pushed a button, okay? So I don't want you to do this again, okay? So now you are clever than the one from last year. So analyze the mod files, be sure that they represent what you want to calculate. So it means understand what you want to calculate. So state the problem. I remind you the first slide, lesson I told you. 3 steps. Analyze, so state the problem, generate, solve the problem. We have seen methods to solve the problem once it is generated. And third, evaluate. So you have always to assess the results that you have obtained to be sure that they represent what you were expecting. Okay, look at order of magnitudes. So don't buy, don't spend. So last year I think that there were some people that were spending more than 100 million Swiss francs to heat the Okay, so just verify your results so that you are sure that what you generate have a meaning. Okay, and for you, and I think it's also something which is important for you. You have never been facing the order of magnitude. Okay, so you had a lot of things to learn, but the order of magnitudes typically you have never been facing to. Okay, so now you will perhaps calculate heat exchangers with 1,000 square meters. Okay, so just try to realize what it means to build these big heat exchangers. Okay, so look in the internet what it means. Do you have room to install them? And just to be sure that what you are generating as numbers makes sense. I'll just give you another story from a student in the past. There was someone who was calculating an extruder for producing plastics and has made very nice calculations, so very nice, precise calculations. The extruder was calculated as having 1 kilometer long. Okay? And the students did not accept to change his numbers. So 1 kilometer long. So the question, the message there is that you can have very nice methods, but be sure that you are that the methods and the models represent what you have to do. And this is something that we are asking you here. Okay, it's not only stating the problem, it's not only solving the problem, it's also verify that the results that you obtain make sense and corresponds to a decision that you are going to install. Because if you look at the
do you want to go back?
Yeah, this one here. So the idea is that the result that you have here will be options that you will integrate into the mixed integer linear programming approach. So officially, each building will solve a nonlinear problem that will calculate what is the best site for the heat exchanger to recover the heat from the air that is taken out of the building. Okay? And this will be an option that is added in the whole system because it will have an impact on the heat pump that you have to buy for the whole system. Okay, so you have to be sure that what you do makes sense. Right? Let's do it now.